do you call
when all that you see
are actors on your television singing off key?
What savvy, well-versed heroes can settle this
Score!
once more with TV.
Welcome, perfect attendees and problem children, to Once More with TV, a podcast celebrating TV musical episodes from the sublime to the subprime.
And definitively ranking them using every theater child's worst nightmare, math.
I'm your co-host, Liza Truschel, she, her, and I'm a high school-based musical apologist.
And I'm your co-host, Alex Kovnatsky, he, him. And speaking of high school, I think that possibly there would be no High School Musical if it weren't for this episode that we're to discuss today. We are talking about Even Stevens' episode Influenza, which is season 2, episode 21. And we have a special guest this week. We have one of my dearest friends. He is an insanely talented playwright and lyricist, the world's leading musical theater expert, and one of the most thoughtful and hilarious people I know, Mr. Weston Scott. Welcome to the pod.
Is that all true?
I think it is.
Oh, cool. Hello, I'm so glad to be here. This is an absolute treat. It's like seeing one of my lifelong friends and also Alex here together in one virtual space. This is an absolute treat.
We're so glad to have you.
Super happy. Wes, what is your relationship to Even Stevens?
Oh, man, I was a little guy back in the early 2000s, and I was like, man, Louis Stevens is so cool. I watched the show probably every day. Like, I watched so much of the show, and I so distinctly remember when they were going to have a musical episode, like, my mind was blown. Like, they amped it up for several weeks beforehand. I was really stoked on it. I remember rearranging my schedule, like, so that I could be at home to watch this episode debut.
Amazing.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah, and I remember when I was a child, I loved it. I thought it was really great. I thought it was out of this world. And then I didn't see it for years until I was in college with Alex, and we're like talking about it. We all watched it again, and it had a different flavor, I would say, than the first time that I watched it. But there is still a lot to love, and I cannot wait to discuss it with all of you. This feels like a dream come true.
Yeah, it is true that I distinctly remember when Liza and I were both working on this podcast before we launched our first episode. We were thinking about guests, and I was like, oh, Wes loves Influenza. Like, I know that about him.
That's exactly right.
We got to get him on for that. So I'm glad that we're finally doing this. Liza, what's your relationship with Even Stevens?
I did watch it back in the day. I've explained this to Alex before, but my connection to television was very limited during this particular era of the early 2000s. But my brother really liked Even Stevens, so we ended up watching it sometimes. It's fun. I used to absolutely love it. It used to be just like a real treat when it came on. I would say I'm probably more familiar with the Even Stevens movie.
Oh.
I feel like I watched that a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
A solid decom.
It's a really solid movie. Again, I haven't watched it in 15 years. I don't know how it holds up at all. But me 15 years ago thought that was a great fucking movie. So
can we talk about how there are two movies where Shia LaBeouf is in a jungle, and one of them is that, and the other one is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
Skull, not Crystal Skull.
Oh, Shia.
Wow, cursed.
You know what? I think we can all agree that no matter what, we're big Shia LaBeouf fans on this podcast. He's never done anything wrong.
Yeah, if you have one takeaway from this.
Yeah.
I think he's great on Even Stevens, and also really, really good in Peanut Butter Falcon. I love that movie.
I do agree with that.
And he's never done anything wrong besides that. I agree wholeheartedly.
God, absolutely torturous. Alex, what about you?
Yeah,
Wes mentioned that you guys watched it in college, but what about before that?
We definitely watched it in college. I grew up on Even Stevens too. I think I was more of a Lizzie McGuire girly growing up, but
Great
same.
show.
Yeah.
But I also loved Even Stevens. I think Even Stevens was just like a little bit before me at the right age group. But yeah, loved it. Always exactly like Wes thought. Lewis was the coolest kid in the world, which is very funny watching it now and being like, okay, I can connect some dots here. But yeah. Remember this episode very clearly. Went to the Moon in 1969 is forever on repeat.
A breakaway pop single. I mean, absolutely platinum in my home.
But yeah, let's get into it. I'll read you the IMDb here. Despite suffering from the flu, Ren insists on going to school and can't figure out why everybody is breaking into song. That's a pretty good, succinct premise for this episode. I want to dig into this immediately. I want to talk about the intro because, Liza, I know you and I are big intro fans. Actually, I know that about you too, Wes. Wes, what's your feeling about the intro to this show?
Are we talking about the opening credits sequence?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, I do love a claymation. I feel like it tells me nothing about the world at all, actually, because they don't look anything like. I didn't really realize, and this is a stupid thing to say now, I didn't realize how much they were trying to bank it as a brother versus sister dynamic until rewatching that. I was always like, oh, like it's the family and it's two kooky siblings, but the lightsabers that come out of the remote controls, my absolute favorite.
Yeah, that's a fun gag.
Did Disney always know that they were going to get Star Wars? Was this their flex before they got it?
Like, I also think that the lightsaber fight ends a little too abruptly, where both their lightsabers go into the TV, where it's like they clash and then go, do you remember this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
I wanted a little more lightsaber action. Yeah. I always remember being disappointed as a kid. I'm like, I want to see some sparks flying, but they immediately ruined the TV, and they're like, oh, shouldn't have done that. Like, come on. I think they did know. I think that was them calling their shot.
Yeah, I Liza and I talk about this. I miss a good TV intro, and I think that one is like short and sweet and to the point. And again, claymation's always fun, but kind of flexing early on that they're always doing this kind of like a little bit more emphasis on music, because that intro song is like fun and bombastic in the way that the show is, and I think they really nailed that.
Yeah, I agree. What I don't like about the intro is that they make you think Donnie's going to be a way bigger character. I love Donnie, who's the brother.
I'm sorry, so is Donnie their older brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
The man who was in the room?
Yeah.
This was like my big question from the fucking... Okay. I was so frightened when... I know he's probably playing like a high schooler, but he's 35. Like... when an adult man was in their home.
I know. What I think their ages are is Lewis is in 7th grade, Ren's in 8th grade, and I think canonically Donnie's in 9th grade.
That's wild. Ren's like 18. And Donnie's clearly in his 20s. Like, it is so buck wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that, I like, so again, like, it's been a long time, and it took me like probably 15 to 30 seconds after he showed up to remember that they had a third brother. It was like, oh my god, it was in their house.
He does nothing in the show, and as a kid, I was always like, oh, I wonder what Donnie's up to. And like, I don't know why.
Yeah, Donnie
he's
is
living
supposed
like a normal life somewhere.
He's supposed to be like the cool, popular sibling who gets along with everybody. Specifically, Coach Tugnut is like obsessed with him. Which, by the way, I really got to tell you guys this. Coach Tugnut, Jim Wise, wrote all the music in this episode.
What?
Can I say it shows? I can agree with. Like, and I mean that as a positive.
Yeah, he wrote every single song. He also went to UC Berkeley too, Wes, our alma mater. I didn't know this. He was a groundling. He did like song improv at Groundlings. He's like a big musical theater guy. I think he's like done like other compositions for other shows. Like I think he did the music for like That's So Raven's musical episode. He's out here.
I never thought I'd say it, but go Bears.
Go Bears.
He's really doing the work. That is wild, actually.
Yeah, the whole production team was like I think Sean McNamara and John Coda, who's the composer, Sean McNamara directed this episode. They were in like a band together, and apparently like backstage, like behind the scenes, they were like having drum kits and guitars that the kids were playing with, and they would jam with the kids. Like they were all very into music on set. And that kind of sparked the idea for a musical episode. Christy Carlson Romano was on Broadway before this. She was in Parade, which is crazy. And Lauren Frost, who plays her friend, was doing tours with Barbra Streisand as young Barbra Streisand.
That checks
I was
out
gonna say that
so
girl had
good.
pipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl had pipes. I was like really taken aback.
Yeah, like where do you like what has to happen for you to be like that as like 16 or 17 years old? Where it's just like it is full Barbara. It's like the Barbara texture. It's just like Ren, come over here. We need like what's wrong with you? Like it's
That's
like
actually so true.
you have seen some things. Like
She's seen like the like overly by the way, you guys, if you have not listened to the audiobook of Barbara's autobiography, you don't have to listen to the whole thing. It's 900 pages or something insane.
man.
But she does the audiobook for it, and it's just her talking about how insane she is. So I can guarantee that child saw things.
Oh, I'm sure.
Have you
I'm
seen like the
absolutely sure.
downstairs of her house that she's done up to be like a street that she could go
Yes.
shopping in for her own shit?
It is incredible. There's a whole play about this called Buyer and Seller, which is like about a person who is the person who works there. Like the one employee she hires
Whoa.
to sell Barbara her own
Wow.
things.
It is
That's
crazy.
incredible.
It is just absolutely wild.
Anyway, getting into the episode a little bit, Ren is sick. Lewis is very blatantly pretending to be sick. And Ren doesn't want to be sick because she doesn't want to lose her perfect attendance, which is wild to me. I
I will
forget
say
that
it
people
also
cared.
it made me remember that perfect attendance was a thing we cared about, and also kind of like how messed up that is. Like, don't
Yeah.
let this child take sick days. God forbid mental health days. Like, reward them for punishing themselves and coming to school. Like, I did not like the vibe of that.
I never had perfect attendance because one day a year my parents would always just take me to Disneyland instead of school,
Wow.
that's
which was way
awesome.
better than having
Yeah.
perfect attendance.
It's
That's a much
super
better award.
Can I say, watching this show at the very beginning, like it was so funny how early it was for me, where I was like, "Oh man, Lewis is a little much, huh?"
He's a
truly,
lot.
The second where he's like into the megaphone, like, "Achoo, achoo!" I was like, "Tone it down, pal." Like
It was
I
also
couldn't
very
believe-
funny that the dad found out he was sick because he found the megaphone. Like, this seals the deal. You were faking it.
Yeah, the megaphone. It wasn't real sneezes. And then they have that like wild, like sped up sequence where it's like Lewis
Yeah,
is like
I
getting
forgot. Like,
changed for school.
I forgot how much they did that on like this era of children's TV, where someone would just be like sped up and we play cartoon sounds underneath them.
Yeah,
It's a very odd thing. Yeah.
I gotta ask, his long orange pants that are basically capris.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Do we love them or hate them?
I hated them because actually but when I thought they were actually pants, I was like, wait, is this a fit? Like, I was like, does Lewis has drip? And then they were capris, and I was like, no, he doesn't. Sorry. I'm gonna go lock myself in a room.
Like, here is like the most shameful thing to acknowledge. It took me being a 32-year-old man watching this happen right now to finally understand that, like, oh, he's wearing bad clothes. Like, every other time I've seen this show, I was like, normal outfit, for sure. Like, that includes 10 years ago when I was like 21 years old, or 22 when we watched this. I was like, normal. Like,
See,
only now.
maybe I'm not there yet. I kind of think he ate a little bit.
I thought he ate until I saw the length of the pants, and then I was like, no, this is not eating. There are
Like,
crumbs.
Where did he buy those? Did he buy the pants and then cut them off to be
Great
capris?
question.
I think they're supposed to be shorts, but they're just incredibly long shorts.
And I think he's wearing them really low also, which
Yeah.
is making it worse. Because that was the era of like shorts underneath your ass. A really unfortunate time.
Like, remember when pants covered nothing at all? We remember
Yeah,
here?
remember when we
Mhm.
took the main purpose for pants and we're like, nah, not
Yeah,
that.
no. Like, we want our shirts long enough to do the work of pants.
Yeah.
That's my decree. Why can't shirts be pants?
Why not?
Yeah. We should all be Winnie the Poohing it all the time.
Man, do you think Winnie the Pooh watched this and was like, that looks wonderful?
I think Winnie the Pooh is very against it. That's a lot of pant in the clothing.
A lot of pants.
Yeah, that's true. He's a crop top boy.
And
Yeah,
he's such a lawful good. Like, I think he'd really hate Lewis. I think he'd really he'd really be fed up with this kid pretty immediately.
Now, Tigger, on the other hand, he'd be like, wait a second.
Tigger would be here.
When we get into the episode, I'm curious. We already know this after having watched the whole thing, that Ren is hallucinating the musical theater stuff that's happening. Yeah. When does that start happening? Like, is the very beginning of the episode she's already still dreaming?
No. I think because she hears the music in the TV where the horse, it's like Curly's Girl is the name of the
Curly's Girl, Western. And it's the melody of We Went to the Moon.
Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm talking to my horse in 1869. But I think it's specifically the moment where she leans over the humidifier and the humidity goes into her face that we start going to the stream. I actually think that's a problem with this because I want it to be a little more clear. I think we're allowed to know that the convention of it where she's like, oh, I gotta go to school. And then we go into her dream space and then it's there. I don't know why they had to make it a twist.
Yeah. It doesn't feel twisty enough for it to be a twist. But I guess it's a show for kids. But I agree. I thought that moment was the moment she fell asleep. It just wasn't clear enough for me.
You needed someone doing a glissando on chimes.
Yes, exactly. Make it really blatant for me.
Yeah.
That person playing Curly on the horse, by the way, is Sean McNamara, is the director of this episode. So that's
delightful.
Nice.
Yeah.
I liked that.
We get our first song when Ren gets to school, the morning announcement from Principal Wexler.
Principal. I like that.
The Onceler.
Let's talk about it.
I love hallway choreo. It's the best part of any school-based musical. Is hallway choreo.
Like, the iconic piece of choreo that I'm already tilting my hand is the 6th period hallway choreo, where they're like at the lockers and they're like, 6th period, 6th period, where they're like slamming the doors. I'm like, that is iconic every single time. I love the idea of this number because it is like her clue that like we are now in a musical world. It comes out of nowhere. The morning announcements is the typical start of the school day. So I like it in theory, and I actually think the performer who plays Principal Wexler is pretty good. And I think he's really bringing it. This song, compared to the other bops, is kind of a nothing, and I wanted more just in terms of like the audaciousness of what it would be, because there are some other real bops that they really cash in on, and I wanted this first one to be a little more of that.
Yeah, I agree completely on all fronts there. It's a great number to slip into the musical world, and it made me go like, I love when we didn't care. We just like did it. And it's fun that it's like a little bit Motown-y with like these backup singers and the choreos reflecting that a little bit. But I agree. I wanted a little bit more out of it. He does this little syncopation on loud and clear at one point, and I want just like a little bit more of that.
Like, I love that the song ends with him reiterating how much he hates Louis Stevens.
Yeah, as if that was just in the morning announcements. By the way, I hate one student in particular.
I think principals should be brave enough to do that. Really great. It was just like, oh, by the way, like, Timmy, like, screw you. Like,
Timmy in year 3, you're an asshole and you know what you did.
And Louis Stevens is full on, like, in a beach chair, like, leaning back.
Classic cool kid stuff.
But we also get a little bit of foreshadowing because we hear about Coach Tugnut's 6th period gym test.
I think we see him putting lard on the ropes.
No, it's specifically like a rope lube or something. Like, I think rope grease is the word. So he's like spreading it on with a knife.
It's
like
so upsetting. It's the worst visual. I really hated it.
Unfortunately, everything Coach Tugnut does in this episode, I think, is the funniest thing any human being has ever done.
Completely agree. His big smile is crazy.
I know. He is really bringing it in a way that no other performer can in this, and I can't wait to talk. There's one other performer who I think comes close. I'll tell you when we get there. But we also hear that there is going to be a science presentation in 6th period that Ren is going, well, she doesn't know yet because she hasn't remembered, but there's going to be a presentation.
Not remember. Yeah, we've got a great ticking clock. We've got until 6th period until everything's going to go down for both of our co-leads.
Yeah, the lyrics really do a great job of setting up the stakes and making it really clear what's going to happen in this episode, but also making it feel like dream logic. Like, I think the dream logic of this episode is really good. Like, you know, Lewis being in that beach chair with the umbrella is like something that you could see in a dream, but also makes sense in the universe of a wacky Even Stevens TV show. So it blends together nice.
You know, all I'm missing, it's just like a morning announcements hook or like a chorus or something. If they had that, if we just came back to it once or twice, then I think this would be a stronger song. Because there's nothing I really dislike.
Right. I think also it could be a slightly more... we have sort of this slow burn of Ren realizing it's weird that people are singing. And you could have done more of a, like, if you had a more involved chorus and possibly more of an involved, like, group number, it could have been insanely weird that people are singing. Like, she could have noticed it a lot earlier. I'm thinking, like, comparing it to the Scrubs episode where that Welcome to Sacred Heart is like the biggest number. It's this blowout, and she's like, something's really wrong with my brain.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's a great comparison because that's an incredible intro. There's never really like a line where I missed the moment where Ren is confused by this world and then where she decides that she should start singing. She just kind of jumps in at a point, and there's not really an acknowledgement of that transition to her participating
exactly
in any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this whole episode kind of just goes song into song, which I love when they do that. I Always Find a Way comes next. Lewis is not... or Shia LaBeouf is not the best singer, but I love that. I mean, we've talked about that a bunch in this podcast, but I think he does a great job sounding a little bit bad.
Yeah, like, he definitely brings a character to it. Like, he is able to pull it off. Shia LaBeouf, there is one thing that I don't like about his performance, though, and it's and I also kind of think this, but I would do a better job of covering it up. It is very clear, I think, that he thinks musicals are stupid. So he like is doing like the biggest like forced smile where he's like, I always find a way. And he's like, I'm going to be dumb because musicals are dumb.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, just be yourself, dude. You can just own it. Like, you don't have to be in on the joke of musicals are silly. Just
I
commit to
totally
it
agree. It feels a bit like he's winking, and I kind of like, I don't know, especially because it's Ren's dream, I think. It doesn't quite make sense that he would be winking at it.
Yeah.
Whoa, if it's Ren's dream and he's winking like...
Is he a dream walker?
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa!
You know this is weird, right? I'm a little imp.
Yeah. We never hear that he went to school that day. He like, we just see that he got dressed. He could have gone outside and just simply started walking into her dream.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know.
Honestly, that makes more sense than anything else. I want to give a shout out to Tawny's full shirt with sash that says misunderstood, because that's maybe the best outfit in the whole show.
I was doing the research, and they kept describing Tawny as Lewis's goth friend, and I was like, I think goth means something different.
Like, that's the most goth character that's ever been on a Disney Channel screen, I will say.
Oh, yeah. Especially at this time. That was pushing it for Disney Channel.
Yeah.
She had dark hair, and she had a shirt that said misunderstood.
And she doesn't always smile. She smiles a lot in this episode, but usually she didn't so much.
Usually she does not. That's true. It did feel like both of his friends are maybe a bit more like Disney-trained children than Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
They felt a little more natural doing the singing and dancing, perhaps because they just committed to it more. But they felt a little more natural in this than he did. But yeah, it's like it's a very jaunty little tune. A lot of like, this choreo is mostly stepping and snapping. It's like 98% stepping and snapping.
Like, that's all of Shia LaBeouf's choreo in this and in Masters of the Gym. Like, they're like, I always find a way. I do want to say this song is a great Lewis Stevens song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it perfectly tells us who our hero is. It really gets like, it's a good encapsulation of who he is in general. It feels like if someone was to write a musical just about Even Stevens, this is like his like scheming brain like put on display. I thought it did a good job of distilling him.
It also did this meta thing for me where I was like, this song is probably like the weakest performers on this song and it's like a little bit sloppy with the choreo and the singing, but it also totally worked for me. And it's like, did you find a way to make this work? Is that what's happening?
It is weird that you have one performer on Broadway and one Shia LaBeouf, and you give him more songs than the Broadway performer.
Yeah.
Especially also because I remember during the Kim Possible era, them really trying to push Christy Carlson Romano as a pop singer. Like, remember they had those like albums of all the Disney stars singing, and she would always be on them and stuff. So it felt a little odd that they didn't give her a little bit more to do here.
Well, the interesting thing is that Disney was like a little bit reticent to like combine the music and these TV episodes until this episode. Like, I really mean it when I say I think this broke the way and paved the way for everything else, because I think after this, Christy Carlson Romano got a record deal. After this, Hilary Duff gets a record deal, you know, and that's when we start leaning on this a little bit more. The only other thing I wanted to say about this is that they have harmony in, I think, every single song that happens in this. And even though it's like very simple in this, I applaud the effort that they gave it to these kids who don't seem like they're trained at all. And we're just like, yeah, just do like a little, you know, major third harmany. That's all I'm asking.
Do a jazz square.
I also need to do another Coach Tugnut shout out because it ends with him saying, "But not today," like being fully in a locker to remind
It's
Lewis
really,
that.
really upsetting. Again, it's very dream logic-y, you know?
Like, here's the thing. It's not out of the realm of what Coach Tugnut was doing every week when it wasn't a dream. Like, he would be doing these things. This was not new for him.
Can we please address the elephant in the room? His name is Tugnut.
Yeah, it's a lot. I did not remember that detail. And then the first two times that they said it, I was like, surely I misheard it. Like, that can't be the name of a character on a children's television show.
It certainly was.
I feel like I have an ethical issue with it because I still think it's really funny and a good name, but I don't think that's appropriate at all.
I agree. Like, I'm just...
All right, that's all I want to say about that.
I'm just surprised that it got through a bunch of layers of, like, vetting. Like, I understand them putting in the first draft, why not? Like, Coach Tugnut, haha, we're having a good time. But there was, like, an executive had to, like, give a stamp to it. And it's like, this man will be Coach Tugnut for 3 seasons and a movie of a TV show.
Yeah. Well, to their credit, I didn't notice until this time, I guess. Like, maybe that's just not a joke I mean, it's clearly not a joke I got at 12, right? Like, I clearly missed that.
You know what this episode's missing? And I wish it had come a little later for this express reason. Like, man, if Beans had been in this...
Oh my god, that's what I was
where
gonna say.
he?
I missed Beans, my favorite character on this show.
I don't think he was around yet. I think he didn't come in until the next season.
Oh my god, that sucks. Beans was the best.
I have a story that might be hearsay, but I have a friend who claims that he went to, like, a drug deal where Beans also was.
Whoa.
Wow. That's good
Alex,
lore.
it's a person
I like
you
that.
know.
Whoa.
Like, beep out this name. He probably doesn't care, but it's...
Oh my god, of course. That's
says that
incredible.
he went with a friend to, like, buy shrooms or something, and the person he was buying it from, Beans was also there.
That's
That's
awesome.
insane. Was Beans there also buying or selling?
I think he was just friends with the guy selling.
That's incredible.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know how to transition to the next song after that piece of information, but we're gonna do it anyway. What's the Matter with Ren comes up. I'm gonna make a guess here, Wes, that your other person who you think nails it is Larry.
Of course. Larry
Amazing.
is so good.
I love Larry.
So it starts with Ren's other friends, one who played a young Barbara Streisand and another guy. I remember him on the show, but I don't remember him. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry.
I couldn't
also
tell
don't.
you. They weren't introduced in this episode. I don't know either of their names.
Yeah. But they sing a song because they're like, Ren's so distracted she doesn't even remember that she has a project due today about
Which
the
is like
space
such
project.
a classic nightmare, right? Like such a classic
Yeah.
school-related nightmare.
I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's you didn't do the homework and you have no pants on, right? Like these are two things.
Like, one is acceptable, the other impossible.
No.
But they sing like a nice little ballad about it, and then Larry shows up, and it like speeds up, and it gets like way cooler. Larry is Ren's rival, who is just as smart as she is, and is always kind of number two to Ren, so is really looking for her to fail. And man, like, get that man on Broadway. Like, he was so
He was
good.
great. He
was
had a
great.
lot of Riz, as the children would say.
That's right.
He popped on screen. I did it. I'm a young person. He popped on screen. He had a lot of, like, his movement was really fluid and fun to watch. He looked like he was having a good time, which is just, like, so important in these, because then you're having a better time. It's like, with him and specifically her friend, these were two performers who I, like, trusted. Like, I could sit back and be like, oh, you know what you're doing. Like, I don't have to worry about you. I can just enjoy this.
Yeah, there is something cringe about having the black character come in and now we're doing rap singing, but it also was a lot more fun. And so I wasn't super mad about it.
If I remember Larry, he does kind of like talk fast and like insert himself into situations. It kind of does. If anybody's going to have a rap break, it would be Larry.
Yeah, it fits the style of the character. It felt like the whole production got inspired by him having this energy, because the choreo got better. Like the camera shots got more interesting. Like, it was a net positive for me.
I also got to ask, I didn't watch Even Stevens enough recently to know the answer to this, but Larry and Ren, are those teens in love?
I think it is like hinted at a little bit.
I
don't know if they ever cash in.
Question. I was like,
I think they're enemies to lovers. Yeah.
I was like, would that make this better if you kissed?
Are we talking about a full Josh Peck and Mindy Crenshaw from Drake and Josh right now?
Yes, actually,
100%,
exactly.
Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly that.
In my fan fiction, they're married and have 2 kids.
Wow. That's nice. Yeah, I really like the song. I also want to shout out the girl who played young Barbara. Hits a really great high note in the middle of the song before it transitions, and I'm like, wow. And that's when I had the hint of like, is there something more here? So I'm glad that she got her moment. And then again, some more fun choreo. I like the cards that they use at the end. I think that's pretty fun.
I want to give a shout out to like the 5 dancers who are in every number.
I was going to say the dance corps, our 5-person dance corps, who, to be fair, it's one school day, so why would they change outfits? But it's very obvious it's them, because it's the same 5 people in the same 5 outfits in every class and in every scene. But they're great.
We needed just one like meta joke about it. Like, and they were just like
you aren't normally in this class. You're in 7th grade or like whatever.
Yeah.
And then some of the extras are just so clearly adults, which always happens in these shows, but it's very fun. Before we get to 6th period, I just also want to shout out that they're on their computers. Ren is like looking up stuff for space, and Lewis is looking at excuses.com. I just really love old internet.
Yeah,
old internet like, really sent me. The way that you would like pray for Google to return you anything about this space race.
But yeah, Wes, you're right. Him going like, oh, I've already done that one.
So he's a frequent user of excuses.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me that going into this, We Went to the Moon was like goated as the best song. Masters of the Gym is the one that's fighting it for that top seat. But low-key 6th period is like the sleeper hit. I think it's so good.
Rips. It was
I think it's really good. It builds anticipation exactly the way it needs to. We get all the different like characters checking in with what's about to be happening. Like, it feels very like boom, 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 we're going. Like,
it felt very like, honestly, it reminded me sonically of the song This Is Halloween from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Because it has that like marching beat and that like that minor key, and it's like, let's go. Like, here's this foreboding thing looming in on us. It shifts the tone so effectively to like, oh no, we're at crisis point. It's 6th period.
Like, the best acting in this whole thing, and I will die on this hill, like the best moment of acting is when we get the shot of Lewis Stevens saying, I think I ate bad shrimp, Coach Tugnut pops up and he says, Stevens, don't be a wimp. Try to be a man instead. And then Coach Tugnut looks directly in the camera as he's walking Lewis off, and he's like, 6th period. And it's so intense. I'm like, that man is a star every single time. Just the level. It's so musical theater where it's like his sharpness is so clear. He gets the joke because he wrote the song, and I live for it every time. Like, I rewatch that at least 3 times every time I watch this. I rewind.
The way Jim Wise commits to every single moment and makes it like the best moment is insane.
Yeah, he really like chews the scenery, but in a super fun way. Like, he's just so in it. I'm never mad at it. Never mad at it.
Honestly, pretty much everyone in this episode is having fun, and credit to those kids, because I think it can be really nerve-wracking to like sing in front of people. Obviously, some of them are more prepared than others, but I think everybody buys into doing it and really committing, and I love that part of it. And especially in 6th period, I think we see that more than ever.
Here is one thing I did not need in the song 6th period. I did not need to check in with the Stevens parents.
Yeah.
Oh, the let's hustle goof.
Yeah. It didn't work for me.
The goof for people who know what the hustle is, which, by the way, was not children in the early 2000s.
Certainly not.
It's like, very strange. And then they don't do the hustle.
No,
they don't do the hustle, but that like same disco music transitions into the next scene, and they're dancing to that same music before they get back to the 6th period song. It does. I like the excuse is that it's a dream, and like that can kind of feel dreamy, but it was weird to me. I didn't love that.
It was also just odd to me that Ren would have a dream about her parents. Like, she would just like think about what her parents were doing while she's in a nightmare about school. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can extend it to Lewis because he's a dream walker. And we've established that.
And he learned it from his parents, who are the original
they're
dream
walking as well.
They're the dream hustlers.
Right. They're dream hustling. All right. Actually, it makes sense, and I have no notes.
There are full-on flips and pirouettes in this. It was incredible. They really committed to the dancing in this number.
They did.
I also love the little transition that they do with the camera, where they'll like have like 4 screens of different people and then fold them out.
Oh,
it's like very
fun.
Old school like PowerPoint presentation kind of transitions, but I kind of love that shit. I think it's fun.
The only thing I didn't like about it was that like 3 of the 4 screens were like people in the gym. Like they just have like different locations. It's like Coach Tugnut, Lewis, and I think his friend Twitty also were like 3 of the 4.
Totally. That's actually a great point.
That's a really good point. The other question that came up for me was like, I know it's a dream, but like, what is the budget of the school that they can afford to have a gorilla? Like
Coach
or did
Tugnut
he
called
pay for
in a
it
favor.
himself?
Yeah,
Did Tugnut, like, yeah.
The Cage of Doom.
Yeah, the Cage of Doom. Sure.
Did you guys have a scary gym teacher or scary any teachers? Is that a reality for y'all?
I just had perverts. Like, that's all I had.
Oh,
there you go.
Unfortunately, very relatable.
I had one gym teacher with like very charming dad energy. Like he was constantly kind of like making dad jokes. Mr. Burt. Shout out Mr. Burt. Absolute icon.
That's a cool name.
I know, right? It like really suited him too. And then, like growing up, like elementary school, I think like at this age I had like an older lesbian who was like always wearing windbreaker tracksuits. And didn't apparently have any other clothing. It was just windbreaker tracksuits.
In the lead up to Masters of the Gym, I love the green nose bit that they do, particularly when Lewis.
Really so odd. I forgot kind of like what Lewis's antics were like. I was just like, this is the strangest thing I've ever seen.
It's so dumb. The part that I really liked, though, is when he wipes it off and he's like, the guys probably did it because I'm so popular at school.
That was pretty good.
Such a weird line, and I love it. I love his performance of that.
I didn't ever buy that he wasn't popular. Like, he was, like, a weirdo, but, like, it seems like everyone likes him and just the teachers hate him. Like, the idea that, like, everyone's like, oh, they bully me. It's like, I think you're okay. I don't think you're in that much danger, Lewis.
Before we get into Masters of the Gym, I had this moment when the minute it started playing, I had, like, a sense memory of a moment, Wes, when you said, I love any song that has like a polka, like bum 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 bum. Bum. And I don't even remember what the context you told me that is in, but it just brought me immediately to that.
It was either about that or the song Master of the House, which are both very true. I think Master of the Gym is the best fucking song I've ever heard in my life, full stop. I live for this number. I think Jim Wise is so good in it. Like, that soccer mask that he has at the beginning that, like, is a Phantom of the Opera thing that he, like, throws away after 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was really funny. I giggled quite a bit. That was a very
That
good
is,
goof.
like, to me, that is the song that, like, they pull out all the stops for. It is like Busby Berkeley Heights of like what they could do when it's him singing. When it gets to the part where it's like there's 20 of us and one of him, and they're like, "You have lost your authority." It loses me a little bit there, just because they're literally like doing the march again, just like coming up to him. But Jim Wise, I think, sells it the entire time. I love that gorilla. When they make him do all the antics, I'm also here for that.
Mm-hmm.
I really love this number, and I know I'm not right to say that's the best song of all time. I know like Edelweiss exists, but I know where I stand, and it's with this song.
I had the reverse sensation of US a little bit, where when the students start rising up, like my socialist heart was like, oh my god, I didn't realize they do this. Yeah, collective action. You guys are more powerful.
I was like, a coup.
I love the moment in the song. I just don't like their singing or their choreo.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think they kind of weirdly, when you it's such a villain song, right? With this sort of like pokey, a lot of like trombone. It's very foreboding, etc. And I think it kind of doesn't serve the boys well. Somehow when they come in, because they're maybe a little bit like less natural performers in this way, they kind of sound awkward. They don't have the same like Jim Wise was. You realize how in it he was when you hear the kids not matching that level of like commitment to the song.
Yeah.
And so
fully.
they sound, even though the whole point is that they're overthrowing him, they sound weaker than when it was just him. We don't get the proper build of like a whole chorus has come through.
What I wish the song had done, you know, the song "Gives You Hell" by the All American Rejects.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
You know when it gets to the end where it's like, when you see your face, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell, where they're not singing but they're like yelling. I wish half of them had just been yelling, like, you have lost your authority.
Yeah, I think that really would have served it better, because they just sounded a little uncomfortable, and it was sort of hard to believe that they could overthrow this man.
I know.
I was like, he is so powerful.
Can you overthrow anyone when you're just marching with your arms up?
Yeah.
The weird thing, I don't know if you guys saw this, but especially when he's on the treadmill, there's some kids in the back who are just doing this like slow clapping thing that like I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what that direction was at all. It's so weird.
That's so odd. I didn't notice that.
Have I told you about my favorite shot in any property of all time? I don't know why this made me think of it. Have you seen the live action Aladdin with Will Smith?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay, so
but go on.
when the second time he sings, "Can your friends do this?" he points to himself, and then it's a shot of himself where he's upside down, but just his pants are spinning in a circle. And I think that's the funniest thing that's ever happened. I don't know why that made me think of that. But it's just like, can your friends do this? Like, make their pants spin around? I don't think so.
Listen, I hate the live action remakes of Disney movies as much as anybody. I think the Aladdin one is
Aladdin's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
They give Jafar a little more like texture that I actually like.
I love that. Jafar is an icon.
And Will Smith does a really good job at being a genie that's not Robin Williams and is his own thing. And I think they really nailed that.
I agree.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, I won't give it a shot, but maybe one day.
That's fair. Yeah. That's absolutely fair. Masters of the Gym is really a contender for best song on this, but the next one we have is the breakaway hit, like we were talking about. Yeah. We Went to the Moon. Iconic. Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. This song, I mean, you know, an indictment of the American public school system. This is the only reason I know we went to the moon in 1969. There's no other way I would possibly remember that information.
What I love about this song, and I wish they had made it a little more clear. I love like the made up on the spot lyrics. Like the one I particularly love was, but we went to the moon in 1969, not 1968, but the year after. And once they got there, the astronauts felt fine. They smiled at each other and there was laughter. I think that is such a funny lyric. Like where she's just making it up. She's like, I have to rhyme something with after. Maybe there was laughter there. Like I really do admire the lyric writing in this song.
Yeah, me too. Me too. They do stretch that well. I found out that this song is based off of Penny Lane by the Beatles because they wanted it to sound a little bit late 60s. And I think that's great. I totally hear Penny Lane in it. So just hats off to them. I didn't notice it before, but that's a fun little tidbit.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cute. I love the rhyme of sooner and lunar really was a kick. And, you know, like, again, we have our 5 dancers who are here to help us.
Yeah. We have Lewis's face in the moon when we get like the little
so upsetting. So yeah, we do go to the moon. We put on astronaut suits. We go to the moon. Lewis's face is in the moon, and it sucks. I hate that.
Yeah. Like he looks too happy about it. Like,
yeah. Again, he's way too pleased. I didn't care for it. That's the bottom
Is this
line.
a bad thing to say? And you can tell me if it is, and I'll take it back. Is it rude to want to see like Lewis Stevens, once again a 7th grader, suffer a little more? Like I don't want him to win all the time.
Well, I thought if we were doing a Face in the Moon that we were going to do, I now can't remember the name of it, but that classic ancient French film where we like one of the first movies ever where we land the rocket in the eye. I thought that was the point of having his face. And then we didn't. We landed safely on the moon.
That would have been worth it for me.
Yeah, that was like, to me, that's why you put a face there. Otherwise, I don't gain anything from it. In fact, I'm disturbed and would like to leave.
I actually want to make a motion for what's even better than the song We Went to the Moon in 1969. The reprise to the exact same melody of Ren Got an F.
Ren Got an F.
That
So
Larry
good.
does right after. It works so well.
Really good.
Ren does this whole song. The teacher says, that was a great song. Larry's like, that song said nothing at all. And the teacher's like, you're right. That's why I'm giving her a failing grade. And Larry is so excited. He sings Ren Got an F, which is to the tune of We Went to the Moon 1969. And he pulls it out. It is a great reprise. I live for it.
And we're holding little Fs, which is goofy and fun. Like, I love a dumb prop joke.
I know.
He also just, unfortunately, like, that song is better in his register. I think it's the same key. I could be wrong about that. But my only gripe is that when he sings F, it's an F sharp, and it's just so close. They could have just brought it down and made it an F. Because he sounds so good on it. I was like, that's a pretty high note, and I had to, like, check. But he sounds really great on the song.
He sounds great, yeah.
Also, I want to give Chrissy Carlson Romano a lot of credit. She sounds great on her song. We didn't talk about that. She is the most, there are, I think, better performers that I resonate with, but she is like the most natural performer. She really like flows into it. It is exactly like at her abilities. She really comes out looking exactly how I think both she and like Disney as a whole wanted her to look doing this. Like at the time, I definitely bought her as like a pop star, and because I was like 9 or 10 years old, I was like, oh, like she'll certainly be doing concerts soon and all this.
Yeah, and to your credit too, I mean, she does the lyrics justice because she does a great job acting through the song of like, I'm making this up on the spot, but now I'm starting to like really feel the rhythm for it and kind of get into it a bit more. Chrissy Carlson Romano is just always goated for me for Kim Possible. So even just that theme alone, she's goated.
Yeah,
nothing but respect for my Kim Possible.
Yeah, that's true.
Queen.
Have either of you ever woken up shouting, "Stop singing"?
Wish.
Like usually, people in my dreams are yelling that at me before I wake up.
I like the fake out of like she wakes up from the dream, but she's actually still dreaming. That always works for me. I remember distinctly in Teen Wolf, the TV show, when Dylan O'Brien has one of those moments, and it's one of the best pieces of acting on that show. But we get a 3 prize. There'll be no award. If we had to like rank the 3 versions, I think this is the worst of the 3 versions. I guess there's technically 4 because Lewis walks in with soup.
Yeah. But that one, he's not even hitting any newts. No, sorry.
Yeah, he's not.
Let me say that one more time. I said newts. No, leave it in. I don't care. Like, let him hear it. He's not hitting any newts at all. But he's literally like, I got hot soup. Delicious chicken
Yeah,
soup.
he's just doing it to the rhythm and shouting. It's enough to convey, but it's really not. If you were to analyze the tone, he's not there. It's okay.
Yeah, he isn't quite there. We can all tell what he's trying to do, but maybe that's why Ren's upset at the end of the episode. He's not
Like, you're
even
butchering
on
my
it.
song.
Are we counting the pre-pre's of I'm talking to my horse in 1869?
Oh my God.
You're right. A
Right.
5 prize.
Like, I think
a
my
5 prees?
5 pre's? I think my order, if we're ranking those 5, would be Ren got an F. We went to the moon. I'm talking to my horse. There'll be no award, and then I've got hot soup.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's right for me
Yeah,
too.
I think that's probably correct.
I might put soup higher just because it's so
I
bad.
think I
That's true.
put soup above There'll Be No Award because it
That's
got
true.
a bigger laugh out of me because frankly it's shorter and that's what I
Yeah.
appreciated about it.
Like, we had to hear Donnie sing a little bit in this episode.
Exactly.
He's contractually obligated to get to sing one line in the whole thing.
You know, true to that, though, Liza and I have talked about on this podcast about how it's fun when everybody has to sing a little bit. And so
Yeah.
they did give him his quota. Like, you get 2 words to sing and you have to do it.
Yeah. They do a kick line, too. That's fun.
That
We
is
love a kick
fun.
line.
We love a kick line.
When
We love
did-
a Rockettes
when did-
moment.
When did a kick line become, like, the thing? You know what I mean? It's not that
Do we have
hard.
to go back to the can? Is like that? Did
Like,
I mean,
we
I
have to
guess a
go to the
chorus
Moulin
line,
Rouge, you and me.
Yeah.
right? A chorus line really brought kicking back, right?
Yeah.
For one at the
Kicking
end.
went away, and then it
We
came
were
back.
done with kicking, famously.
Yeah, we were
Kicking
trying
was
to move to
canceled.
punching until
Yeah, we were all into punching. Then a chorus line happened.
And then we end with outtakes, which were like barely outtakes. It was
I
so
know.
weird.
I know, and it's not like people were laughing at it. It was just like Lewis trying different options for the green nose moment. It was
Yeah.
literally nothing.
For the musical episode too, I'm sure there must have been way funnier outtakes of people like messing up a move or something, right?
But
Yeah,
I wonder if you don't want to
to
do that to kids. Like, do you want
Oh,
to
I see.
show the times that kids fucked up?
They could have done
Yeah.
it to Tug Nut.
I'm sure there were like that. I would say, yeah, there are almost definitely like weirder takes that he did that are more
Yeah.
funny.
Or like,
Do you think they were worried that they didn't have enough Lewis in this episode? So they're like, Don't worry, he's still our main character. We have a
There
bunch
was
of him here."
enough Lewis.
Yeah, we got too much Lewis. Like, that was the thing that like was hard to think about, and I don't even think it's just like with like Shia LaBeouf's current history. It was just like, man, this show, like, Ren is such an interesting character to me, and Lewis is just such a like I'm a big old weirdo. Like, who knows what I'll do next? Where it was just like, it was hard to root for Lewis in the way I wanted to, because it's not even like he's that scrappy. It was hard to root for him in the way that I was rooting for Ren a lot of it.
Mhm.
It was,
Yeah,
it was just
totally.
like Lewis is going to do something. I'll have to deal with it while I watch it. but like, what's going to happen? Like, what tactics will Ren do to like make this happen for herself?
Exactly. Yeah. Do you all have any last takes or anything you want to mention before we score this thing?
Oh, I just wanted to throw out that Larry straight up invented a replicator from Star Trek. He did something
Yeah.
fucking real.
Yeah, great
Like, he
point.
turns liver into a bar of chocolate using a laser. It is crazy.
And it's like,
and like chocolate that has ridges and
I
like
was
is
going
a
to say-
Hershey's chocolate.
yeah, I know,
bar.
like has the brand name like in each little square. It was nuts. I think Larry is a great man, and I would eat that chocolate, no problem. I would
100%.
also be pissed if I thought someone else was going to get an A just for singing a little song when I
Yeah,
did
and
that
if I
work.
had like invented a piece of technology that would like revolutionize the world, and someone got an A for saying the near of the moon landing, I'd be pretty pissed off.
Like, he should be talking to the Nobel Committee.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, 100%.
crazy.
I also just want to say, Jim Wise, if you're listening to this, like, you are my number one celebrity to meet. I have no one above you.
Wow.
Like, I would love to buy you coffee. sir. I mean, like,
Jim Wise, we have a date for you.
We have a
yeah.
real good date for you.
Jim Wise, would you make me the happiest man of all time, sir? Like, I'm not a strong man. I'm not an athletic man, but I would do your gym challenge just for the opportunity to get to shake your hand.
Oh, it's amazing. Should we score this thing now then?
Yeah.
Okay, to score this thing, we're starting off with the general vibe, as we always do. That is, how much do we enjoy it? How much is it aged? Is it aged well or, poorly? Are there any problematic moments? Is it a good episode overall? What are we thinking, guys?
I mean, the elephant in the room is we have to take a couple points away for just Shia LaBeouf being who he is, which sucks pretty monumentally. And it's been a detriment to the legacy of this whole show, unfortunately. Yeah. So, of course, we have to take a couple points off for that. That said, I was having a really good time because the pace of this is so quick. If there are like less funny moments, we don't sit in them very long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was such a swing, and it really feels like one in a very joyous way.
Yeah. And it mostly hits. Like, even the things that I think don't hit, it like mostly does what it's trying to do in a successful fashion.
Totally. 100%.
Completely agree with both of y'all. I'm kind of feeling like an 8, 7 or an 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8 feels right to me.
I like an 8.
Yeah, let's do an 8.
Hell yeah. Our next category is music. Pretty straightforward. Is this original music or found music? How are the chords, the melodies, listenability? Music's pretty freaking high for me. I don't know what y'all think.
I agree. Like, even the songs that I don't like as much, I still think are like pretty good. like even like What's the Matter with Ren, even though I think the beginning isn't like so like striking compared to some of the other songs, it's still like a good melody. They're still finding stuff. There's like people took time with this. This was not like a slouch.
100%. And they have harmonies in every song. They like call back, like We Went to the Moon is Penny Lane. The Masters of the Gym is Master of the House, right? Like they do like all of these kinds of interpolations in a very fun way that's not super obvious. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a 10, but I don't know. That might be too high. What do y'all think?
I would give it a 9 or a 10. I defer to Liza for this one.
Wow. Huge amount of pressure on I think I'm gonna go with a 9. That feels right to me. I think there are just like a few moments where like we could have, like we said during like that announcement song, like that could have had a hook that really got us into the show. And I think there are a few moments like that where we get the promise of something we don't 100% get there, but it's mostly there.
Yeah. It feels so weird. I don't know how much you've noticed this watching all the episodes you have now, but it feels unexpected that the best songs are like the last 3 for this one. Where it's just like 6th period, 2 Master of the Gym, 2 We Went to the Moon. It feels
2
like
Ren got an F.
Yeah, like there's so like many great moments that are not the beginning. I feel like a lot of these episodes would start out with their one good song and then it kind of like trails off like as it goes on.
Yeah, that's absolutely a pattern we get sometimes, is that we kind of like give up halfway through the episode. We're like, guys, we blew all the budget. But yeah, you're
that's
right.
a great point.
The last few really this really starts hitting at like minute 16.
And then we're like off to the races.
Yeah. Moving into lyrics, this is, how witty are they? Do we have slant rhymes, perfect rhymes? Was there a scheme? Do they match? But most importantly, like, do lyrics match the show? Do they match the characters? Do they move things forward? I think mostly, like we said, the lyrics are pretty fun and goofy and really match the tone of the show for me. Yeah. Again, we appreciated the really silly rhymes in We Went to the Moon. Like, just goofy.
Yeah. Like, everything felt very true to character. It's not like they're not really breaking out like the rhyming dictionaries for this one. But like, no. But it's all pretty much like, I didn't hear too many slant rhymes in this. Like, it all felt like pretty good, pretty pure. Like, someone was working on it in a big way and like used a little bit of craft. Like, once again, no slouches.
I also think the lyrics do a really great job of forwarding the plot, which is something that we didn't really talk about in this or haven't talked about in many other episodes, because sometimes they really don't do that job. They're just like, oh, let's just sing what people are thinking right now. But especially the morning announcement song, we really set up everything that's going to happen.
Totally.
And I think they do a really good job of that.
Yeah, and each song does a really good job, even if, like, in I Always Find a Way, like, sets it up to bring it back to the plot, even with, like, the little tug nut, like, reference at the end, where it's, like, the complication. I think What's the Matter with Ren does that in a big way. Yeah, I think every song takes a moment to make sure that it's coming back to the story in an intentional way.
Yeah, this might be a 9 for me, too.
Yeah.
I'd throw a 9 out there.
Okay, let's do a 9.
All right, the next category is dancing. How's the choreo? How difficult is it? What's the execution? Dancing's pretty great for me on this one.
But sometimes there's just marching. Like, that's the thing that, like, keeps me from, like,
there are
fully
moments
living.
where the choreography really works, namely when we have our 5 paid dancers.
I know.
And then, I mean, we do get my 2 favorite kinds of school-based choreo, hallway and lunch table choreo. These are in the food pyramid of choreography. These are enormous.
It's like hallway dances, lunch table dances, and dance fighting are like the pillars.
These are the 3 things I'm always looking for, okay?
Yeah, and I had 2 of the 3.
2 out of 3, which is great. But yeah, we do have moments where it really suffers. Particularly, I think we lose it in a bit of Masters in the Gym. I feel like it's underserved by that, like, marching. Yes. And then similarly, you know, we just have scenes where we don't have our super capable dancers at the forefront, which is okay, but we're doing snapping and stomping.
I guess my problem only stems to exactly one person, and it is Shia LaBeouf's dancing. Like, I think I would be okay with the marching if I wasn't looking at Lewis doing the marching, because he looks so particularly dumb doing the marching. I think if it was happening and I didn't have to look at him with his, like, wink to the audience, I would like it more.
Yeah, I think that's right. The interesting thing, I guess this is more towards the commitment score. They do really have committed dancing in pretty much every song, which is fun. Because we've seen so many episodes now where they dance in like 1 number or maybe 2 numbers. So the fact that they think about it for everyone, I do think that probably more fills into commitment. But I like that they cared about having dancing in it. And also, a kid does a flip. Like, that was awesome.
Yeah. And it is, like, supportive, and in the storytelling, it is, like, non-obtrusive, but also helps elevate it. Like, yeah, I like it. It's just, like, 2 marching moments I don't like, I guess. But the rest of the choreo I like.
We thinking like a 7 or an 8 here?
I'm feeling like a 7.
I do a 7.
A solid 7.
Yeah. Like, mostly good. Just a few moments where it's not up to snuff.
Yeah.
Performance. So this is vocal performances, acting performances. We've mentioned a few really standout performers, and we've mentioned a few who are not as standout, maybe.
Yeah. But also, even for, like, Shia LaBeouf's, like, singing ability, I do think, and, like, I think it goes more under commitment. I think he is committed to the role of Lewis Stevens, and he is, like, still, like, he is doing stuff that I can imagine Lewis doing. He is a character, like, who is in this world. I think he delivers a good performance, even if the vocals aren't, like, nuts.
Totally. And, like, this is, you know, the hill we die on the show constantly, is you don't actually have to be able to sing in order to be able to do these episodes well. Like, if you just, you know, you can sell it without being a natural singer and dancer. And loads of actors aren't, and we don't want to hold that against them for, like, taking this big swing, right?
Yeah.
And so, I do think that there are a few really, really great performances in here. Like, Jim Wise, Christy Carlson Romano does great. Larry, amazing.
Like, I think where I would judge this one is in terms of, like, watching a musical episode. At worst, I felt the exact same about actors, and at best, I was like, oh, they're a way better performer than I thought. Like, no one went down in my estimation because of their performance in this episode.
Yeah, totally. That's true. And they're all mostly kids. So pretty impressive.
Yeah, like, I think they really delivered.
Yeah, this is probably like an 8 for me. I don't know what y'all think.
I think an 8. Right. 8 feels right.
Okay, we got writing next. The dialogue, the pacing, the structure, the actual quality of the words. What are we thinking there?
It's hard. Well, so much of this is sung that some of it sort of falls in there.
Yeah.
Pacing wise, I mean, we love it when we run from song to song to song. Like, that's just so much more fun. They fit, like, I mean, if we're counting all 5, we went to the moon.
Yeah.
They fit like a billion songs, and there's like 21 episode minutes. Like,
yeah, they like
21-minute
deliver.
episode of television. It's crazy.
It has great economy where like it
Mhm.
uses all of its stuff like very intentionally. There were like a handful of moments, like we talked about the hustle moment being something that we like didn't love and felt a little
Yeah.
superfluous. But if we're talking about that 15-second moment as being like, oh, we didn't love that so much, that is really saying something when I have been through so many slugs and musical numbers and I'm like, come on, like end this.
Totally. And I do love excuses.com.
Excuses.com is funny. That's a good joke.
And I think it is clever the way they blend dream logic with just like, I don't know, the ADHD nature of this show. I think it kind of melds together in a nice way. Yeah, I'd say writing, it doesn't blow me away, but it's strong and the pacing is great. I like that, what you said, Wes, about the economy of it. That's like a term I'm going to steal because, yeah, the like amount of time spent singing versus like the time in between songs is really well done here, I think.
Well, we don't spend any time making excuses for why this is happening, which was kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
The point of musicals is that we like sing what we think, or we sing what we can't say, right? So there's no time spent talking through things when then they could be sung, which I think I really appreciated. Like every scene felt like, why wouldn't they be singing this? Let's just make them sing this part, which was fun.
The thing that feels most discordant is that very first scene, which is like still in an episode of Even Stevens before we're at the musical.
Agree completely.
But that's like 2 or 3 minutes and then we're off to the races. Like it's like one sped up sequence where Lewis is getting ready for school, throws some clothes on his dad, and then we're out of there.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling an 8 on this one too. I think this is pretty strong.
Yeah,
I'd give it an 8.
Cool. Direction. So, you know, cinematography, the blocking, the editing, the framing. I mean, we mentioned that it suddenly gets interesting when Larry is doing it.
This is when I think of this episode, and I know that there's so much that goes into direction that we like don't see. This episode doesn't feel like a feat of direction to me. There's some moments that I like, but it feels like even though it is doing more than most episodes of Even Stevens, it still feels like an average episode of Even Stevens in the way that it's filmed and framed. We get like that moon sequence that's kind of terrifying and not so interesting. Like it feels like
love
something we
it.
could do on the show already. There are some shots during sixth period that I think are really nifty, and I don't want to discredit those, but those moments feel few and far between.
Agreed. Yeah, the only thing I can really think of that's significant are like the transitions between scenes, like when we have the teeth chomping us into the next scene, or like when Lewis is doing that like speedy getting ready stuff. But I feel like that's just of the era, right? Like I think that's just what TV shows were doing at that time, which isn't necessarily special. So yeah, I think out of all the categories, I don't think direction is the strongest, but I don't think it's inherently bad. Maybe like a 6 or something like that. I don't know. What are you guys thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, just like the trip to the moon doesn't feel justified, and I hate it.
But there is like someone had the prop choice of that mask that I love so much.
That was so good. Like that was
that's
perfect.
Really inspired.
I loved that. Yeah, I think a 6 feels right here. Like
Yeah, 6
mostly
feels good.
fine. Mostly fine. A couple of moments I'm not loving.
Yeah.
Okay, commitment. Yeah, commitment's a big one here. We've mentioned it like 100 times, but how much do they commit to the concept of the musical? How many songs are there? But also, how do we commit in the episode, Shia LaBeouf, to what's going on?
That's really like the only minus, and it's kind of a big minus for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like as a whole, the production really did commit. They were excited to do a musical. They did it right, I think, for the most part. Like, at every measure, almost all the performers were in, except for one of the 2 leads of the show, who, like, it's the thing that, like, when the cool kid gets cast as Shrek, they want everyone to know they're still cool, even though they're Shrek. Like, that's how I felt.
I may be Shrek, but I fuck.
Yeah, and that's what Shia LaBeouf was trying to be like, isn't it so funny that I, the noted funniest kid in the world right now, would do a musical? And it's like, no, Shia, just do it. So that makes it really hard for me. but I also don't want to fault the rest of the production that I think
100%.
did really
Yeah.
That's really the crux here, is it just feels like one person not committing, which kind of is a bummer because he's one of our leads, but everybody else feels like they're there. And we've gone, I mean, again, we've had 1,000, we have like 8 songs per minute, which is crazy. And we have a lot, like, it feels like the production team went all in. Jim Wise wrote all of this music. Like, it feels really committed, except for one person majorly winking at camera in every other scene.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I will say that while his winking is bad and it takes us out of it, I don't think it's so bad, right? Like, he's still doing all of the stuff that he needs to do. It's just like he wasn't on quite the same page as everybody else, or was maybe a little bit too insecure. And he is a kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know, for me personally, if that affects the score too much. I think it's still pretty high scoring. Like, I think it's still a 9
pretty
for
high.
me.
I don't want to
Yeah,
punish
I agree.
everyone else for the decisions of one literal child at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking like an 8.5 or a 9. Like, I don't want to take too much off. It is like a big point, but I don't know. What about you guys?
Yeah. I'd be like a 9.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
that's
think I'm feeling a 9 too, just because it does so much right. And
Yes.
also because it's really one of the first of these Disney shows to do something like this.
Yeah.
And the fact that they went all in on it and didn't really half-ass anything, I think is massive.
Yeah. You know what? That kind of also convinces me where it's like Shia didn't have like the playbook, of like how you're supposed to
That's so
treat this.
true. We did not know how this was going to read. Like, he didn't have the playbook of like Disney children now who grow up with this, invented that playbook, but also it was impossible to know what reception was going to be like. And I think that's a lot scarier than kids now who like know that a musical episode of their show will be received well.
Yeah.
So I'll give that to him.
Cool. 9 feels right.
Okay. The stakes. Is this a big episode in terms of the show? I mean, we know that they put a lot of publicity money behind it because it worked for Wes.
Yeah.
But
I
what
remembered
are
it for 20 years.
Yeah. But like, what are the stakes for main characters and their arcs? I mean, it's a little tough because it's like a dream, right? But the stakes for Ren getting an F is crazy.
Yeah,
like, that is a
that's
crazy high stake.
I remember that being shocking as a child that had happened, because I also fell for the twist as a child, which I don't think I've like made clear. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen, and so when it was a dream, it was like, oh, thank goodness she didn't actually get an F.
and they do set up the stakes for that well, even if you've never seen Even Stevens, because this is a girl who's stressing out about perfect attendance, and it's going from that to an F on like the most important assignment of the year for her. So that is pretty big, even though it's inconsequential in the end. And I guess the stakes for Lewis and his friends are like maybe being trapped in a cage with a gorilla.
I actually do love the stakes of this. Like, I think even though it invalidates the stakes for the musical that we are watching, it in the 20 minutes it has, like, it feels like they really do achieve something with the song Sixth Period that I think is really admirable. Where you really do feel the tension. It feels like the end of an act 1 almost, where it's like we're getting to the big moments, like here it comes, like we feel the amping. I think because of the success of that song, the stakes were really well established, because I still do feel it every time.
And there's an inherent bias here because I am a co-host of a podcast that does TV musical episodes, but I literally can't remember any other Even Stevens episode barring the movie. This is the only one I remember from all of Even Stevens. So I think in that way, it is kind of a game-changing episode.
That is very embarrassing to admit that I watched every episode of the show, and I know I did, and I can't remember any other episodes either. Like, I remember, like, characters and events, but yeah, I can't tell you what happened in any of them.
I remember that Beans wants bacon all the time. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Yes, 100%.
My
Classic.
man.
At one point, they gave him like a suitcase full of bacon. That might be in the movie. But yeah, no, you're right. I also like couldn't be pressed to remember anything about Even Stevens except for the song "We Went to the Moon," if you asked me. So yeah, I do think the stakes for this are high, but in a way like it's appropriate for the show. Like the stakes are high for these individual characters in a way that like really works for them and really draws on all of their idiosyncrasies. So yeah, to me, this is a pretty high score.
Yeah, I think the only thing that doesn't make it high for me is that nothing ultimately changes after this episode. Nothing. But, like, I don't know if any episode does change things.
We kind of return to zero, which is pretty standard for, like, sitcoms, and we've dealt with on this, like, show before.
Like, maybe Ren's learning the lesson to, like, not care about perfect attendance so much. Like, I don't know if that really is the takeaway or not. But I think in and of itself being unclear is like not really showing that many stakes. So I think for me, it's like probably like a 7, maybe a 7.5.
I do like a 7.5. That feels right to me.
7.5 sounds great. I love a 7.5.
We love that half point.
I love a half point.
Okay, the big category here, our own personal ranking. We'll average it between the three of us. Yeah, this is just how you feel about the episode overall. I have my number. I think I'm set.
Okay. I think I've got a number.
I'm trying to be as honest with myself as possible.
I know. This is really hard. This is really hard. This is the hardest one.
Okay. I got my number.
Okay. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
7.
9.
Whoa. 7, 9, and 9.
That seems right for us.
That sounds like, I think that absolutely worked out. Alex, can you do math?
Yeah, that's 25 divided by 3. It's a little bit more than 8. I'm going to actually need a calculator for that.
Is it 8.3 repeating?
Yeah, I think that's right.
We've never had a 0.3 repeating before.
Incredible.
Like, we did it. Like, all you needed was another
so
one.
Funny.
Yeah, at the end of the day, watching this is the most flawed I've ever seen this episode, where it's like, I felt like more than the last time I watched it 10 years ago, like, I could really see a lot more of the cracks and, like, things that I don't like. And I don't even think it's fully related to, like, who Shia LaBeouf is as a person, even though that is, like, an aspect. It's just, like, watching it's like, I saw some stuff that I hadn't seen before, but when it hits, like, man, it hits. It hits.
Mm-hmm.
It hits in an unbelievable way. And there are some other great musical episodes, as I know you've detailed on this show exactly. And there are some other awful ones. But just like pound for pound, like the quickness with which it goes through things, the speed and like what it is striving for, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's 100% right. Wes, thank you so much for coming on this episode. It's such a delight to finally do this. Where can people find you? Do you have anything to plug?
If you start a fire and write a wish and put it in the fire, like, I'll be there in 30 minutes. No, you can
30
find me
minutes or less, like Domino's. Do you have a guarantee?
I do. Avoid the Noid. That's what people say. No, you can find me at Wes and Eric Scott on Instagram. That's mostly where I am. I write plays. If you ever want me to write you a play, you just kind of got to ask at this point. That's what I do. I wrote a 10-minute play that's on sale at Stage Partners. Go to yourstagepartners.com. You can find it there if you type in my name. That's all I got going on. I was so excited to be here. This is my favorite thing to talk about. Do another Influenza episode sometime and I'll come back. I know you'll want to revisit it eventually.
Yeah.
And I'll be there for it. I'll try to get my soccer mask made before.
Oh my God. It'd be incredible.
Should we call it a Sopra mask? Is that what we should call it?
Phantom of the Sopra.
Phantom of the Sopra? It's exactly the same, only he's wearing a football kit the whole time.
Yeah. Ole, ole.
Otherwise, nothing has changed and nobody addresses it.
Yeah. Dream. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, bud. All right, so that places Influenza the musical at a 79.83.
Insane. The decimal points this season are going to drive me crazy.
It literally places it outside the top 5 by 0.17. So The Nightman Cometh, Always Sunny, still stays at 5th place, Influenza at 6th place, and then it's just 0.83 above my musical, The Scrubs episode. Some heavy hitters at 5, 6, and 7.
Heavy hitters. I'm shocked, actually, that it placed above my musical because that's such a solid and classic episode. But pound for pound, this one really delivered.
It really did.
Still, that's controversial. We're going to catch some heat for it.
We just might, but I think there's a lot of Influenza fans out there too.
I don't know. I mean, we will see. And next week, we'll see you once more with season 2, episode 38B of Dexter's Laboratory, entitled Libretto.
You can't find this episode anywhere. I have tried.
Good luck,
so you're gonna have to pull up a stream or buy it.
Thank you as always to Olivia Broslavsky, our angelic audio architect, and to Sakina Powell, our magnificent marketing maven.
If you like this show, please be sure to rate and review us. If you don't, please keep it to yourself. You can find us on Instagram at Once More with TV or contact us using the information in the show notes.
And
scene.